Welcome back, everybody. How is everyone today on this full moon in Leo, the first full moon of 2024? I have Diana here with me, bringing in this new 2024 year, and SunPsychic Jeans come to visit with us
Hi,
because
everybody.
we're going to utilize everybody's energy. We all get different hits, and Jean's been able to get different, she's picking up on a lot of astrology stuff. So um she's gonna be here, and it's just for fun. We're here for fun. It's not serious or oh, look at everybody's here. Hi, Karen. Hi, Terry, holding your space. Hi, Valerie S. And hi, Susan. All right, so today we have at 12, it was 12:54 p.m. this afternoon in Eastern Standard Time. We had the full moon in Leo. The full moon is when, okay, the moon is in Leo, the sun is in the opposing planet, which was Aquarius. And that's what makes a full moon. They're across from each other. And Diana's going to explain how brilliant the opposing signs are. A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
astrologers want to say that, oh,
Right.
it's not good. Everything's opposing, but that's not true. Um, the sun is conjunct Pluto, who had just went in. The sun and Pluto just went into Aquarius on the 20th. And this is the first full moon from that vantage point. Now, this Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years at the end of November, but we're not going to get into all that. It can get a little confusing. He's going to come back out September, October, November, and then go back into Aquarius fully for 20 years. But we have this unique energy in the air because we have the moon in Leo all the way over there by herself. Everything else is kind of closer to the sun, making it different. Um, it's not that it's making things different or bad or good or anything. But the sun is sitting out there by itself. So it's kind of what I'm being shown. The sun is representative uh, of our hearts. Our hearts are our home. Our inner child is, very playful in Leo, wants to come out and play. But as it's sitting out there by itself, it's like the message I was hearing was, "Hey, don't forget about me. I'm here too." We had the new moon in Capricorn on the 11th, on 111. And that was helping us solidify our foundations. Our foundations are integrity, authenticity, truth, being ethical. So we're building on now. Well, now we're integrating the heart into all of that, because who is it that you want to be this year? Who are you creating this year? And that's what this astrology is saying to me. The sun's here now going, do you honor your heart? Are you listening to your heart? Are you following what your heart is asking to participate in? There's a lot of questions there uh, that only we can answer by ourselves, right? Going inside and really talking to our our team and getting the nudges that we get. That's all the heart speaking to us. Um, but as we go further, I guess, well, what we're not going to go much further if we're not connected to our heart, in addition to having our integrity and our honesty and our truth all lined up. But once you are connected to your heart and you're connected to your integrity, you could create anything you want in this energy, because this is all new energy. We're in a new era. Remember that with Pluto and the sun entering Aquarius, now we're in a new era. This is, we're watching the old uh, age of Pisces die as the new age of Aquarius is being born. And so what do you think about that so far, Diana?
Well, that's a good T-square you're talking about there between the moon and Pluto, with the release of that being Saturn. And that's,
Okay.
and, I'm sorry, Jupiter. And Jupiter is in Taurus. So emotions are involved because it's Leo, and Leo rules the heart. And so being heart-centered with your own demands right now,
Yeah.
Jupiter and Taurus is like, go ahead, spend that money if you want to. And then you got Pluto and the sun over there going, you don't want to do that. So this is the refinement of the putting your emotions to work for you. Instead of fighting yourself over it, don't say no, just say not today. Because that's how you can carry that opposition with yourself.
Okay.
Because we all have moments where we go, but I want it now. I want it now. And that sun in Uranus is a lot of I want it now, because it's the lightning bolt moment. That is Uranus. I mean, Uranus, Aquarius, lightning bolt after lightning bolt. Yesterday's solar flares, one right after another. And now they're hitting us. Bam, 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 bam. Which that started yesterday, actually, because they're so rapid fire. They were just coming at us and coming at us, right?
And don't you think that's because the sun and Pluto were so close together that the sun, the solar flares come off? Okay.
So we also have the top of a kite, and the top of the kite, the release point there is Saturn. And that the top of that kite is formed with, I'm sorry, let me look over here. It's with Venus, and then it's over there with Uranus. That's why it keeps spitting out of my mouth, because it's in this chart. And then the release up there is with Saturn and Hygeia. So this is refinement about your health and taking care of your health and getting things back on track. Time to work off the Christmas cookies. Oh yeah, here comes Valentine's Day, and Punchki Day is not too far away either. So it's like, pick and choose. Don't tell yourself no, just put it off. Don't eat it today. You know, Shrove Tuesday, don't overdo. Have one punchki, not the whole box.
So what you're saying is moderation. Everything in moderation. Absolutely.
Right.
And that's a good way to start the year off too.
Right.
Being in integrity, being in your truth, and being in your heart. We, you know, as we evolve, because I think that's what's happening to all of us, we're evolving. What I see, our higher selves coming into our bodies more. It's more of a physical. The spirit is coming into the physical, and as we go forward, I mean that's the only way a spirit works, right? It's being in integrity and being in the truth of the heart. So this is it's not an unusual thing for our community, but we're going to see this evidence of this around us, a lot of people trying to come into their integrity, not knowing. I mean, you got to think about it. It's been 26,000 years, and that really hasn't been the number one priority, is being in integrity or in your heart. So a lot of people are going to be looking for assistance and looking for help, but for us who are here, and we see that this energy is setting up a year. Well, just let's stick with this year, of people waking up, becoming aware that there's something else going on, as we go through the election. And I was going to say shit show, but my friend gave me a new word.
I think you said it anyway.
Did I say? And she gave me a good word. It was Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth. And I moved the paper. I will find it. When I do, I'll bring it back up. But it was being part of the mystery, something like that. Instead of calling it the shit show, we're part of the mystery. We're watching the mystery unfold.
Exactly, because with each lightning bolt that gets thrown, until the smoke clears and the dust settles, we don't know how big the hole is. We don't know what we have to deal with. Are we lucky enough? Did diamonds come out with this one? Or And Pluto has only moved 9 minutes since the 20th. The sun is already 5 degrees moved on. Now, between when it's the sun, the moon, or your rising sign, you can give a 10-degree orb for power and conjunction, or, whatever kind of an aspect it's throwing.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the sun is 5 degrees away from Pluto, he's still leading the way. The sun is still in charge, right? So Pluto is still standing in his power going, now, wait a minute. I'm not moving yet. I'm not done looking at the expanse. He's now looking behind him at what he's already blown up. And he's getting bad, and he's not, he gets a bad rap for doing that, but you can't make a change if you stay stuck. Terry and I were actually talking about it somewhat yesterday when we did the 11th universal law, because Aquarius is the universal law of rhythm, right?
Yeah.
And so Pluto's standing there trying to find the new rhythm at 0 degrees on the cusp line.
Well, but isn't this also true? He is stopped, right? He's looking.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's been in Aquarius one other time. Well, in March, right? But he's looking back and he's going, wait a minute, 248 years ago, when we created the United States of America, you said these certain things would be in the Constitution. You said that everybody had rights, everybody was welcome. I don't see that. There's a, so that's what he's going to call out. He calls it out. He's not cuddly about it. He will. It's death and rebirth. Integrity is everything with Pluto. Integrity, honesty, and being ethical. And if you're not, or it's not, like in the case of the Constitution, that's all going to come up for a review, don't you think?
Well, and also remember that Pluto had not been discovered yet, so Saturn was still the sole ruler of Aquarius back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And now Pluto is calling him out and saying, look, Saturn, you wrote this. You're the one who said freedom for all, and then you went right over there and didn't do that.
I love it.
You wrote women low on the list. You wrote people of other races low on the list. What did you do to the people, the indigenous who were here? So that's what he's examining.
Yeah.
Now that Uranus is here as the humanitarian and showing how Aquarius is really the humanitarian, we're going to understand better, not so much that the Constitution needs to change. It's the attitude of the people needing to understand that humanitarianism is not a Pollyanna, wishy-washy, freedom for all. No, it is freedom for all. And sometimes that means you stay in your own lane. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? You're going to cause a pileup on the expressway.
That's perfect. I love how you explain that, because that's what we're going to be witnessing for at least the next 20 years.
I think my Jupiter was just screaming. I'm sorry.
Right. But we're going to
Pluto's conjunct my Jupiter at 1 degree in Aquarius.
Yeah, Pluto's conjunct my Jupiter and my ascendant right there. So yeah, we're having the same thing. That's why neither one of us can focus. But
so now everybody sees how this rhythm moves, because rhythm is something that you can see. It's one of the universal laws that you can see happen, right? And this is how the rhythm is. And we're all getting caught up in it. And she and I have so many enough things in Aquarius to cause this. Come on, let's get on the horse. Let's get a good game of polo going.
and this is okay. Here's where living in the mystery instead of the shit show. I'm going to call it living in the mystery. So I'm going to up my game here, because and Elizabeth had a good point. If we keep referring to it as a shit show or this or
Yeah,
whatever thing in our lives, right?
right.
We're just reinforcing that to be the shit show or whatever we're talking about. So
Right. It's changed the language. It's one of the
yeah,
universal laws too. It's changed the language. If you keep putting out the negativity, that's all you're going to get back.
yeah, I thought that was really cool because I was really doing it in jest, but I guess it's the universe doesn't joke like that, and that's the truth, really. We're thinking we're I'm just being cute and funny, calling it the shit show, but it really is causing it to constantly be that. Yes, words have energy, Carrie.
So I wanted to kind of start right there and make a few comments, and I
Sure.
feel as though when you say that the Aquarius has that rhythm, what it says to me is that frequency. And when I hear frequency, I hear moving from 3D to 5D. Also, when the full moon is in Leo, and Valerie was telling us that we need to lead with our hearts, what I felt was that our hearts will become our vehicle, that this brain and our analytical and ego will no longer be the vehicle in which we move forward or that we create from. It's going to be from the heart. And this is where the balance is going to come back in.
Yes.
Valerie also said about Pluto being integrity and honesty and accountability. And I felt as though it was important to remember that we need to be honest with ourselves,
Mm,
with ourselves. And it's be really honest and take a good look at ourselves and be honest with ourselves. And it's important work. It really is. And this is what creates that rhythm and that energy going out. And Diana, you were saying something about the solar flares hitting us, bam, bam, bam. And
mhm.
when you were saying that, I could see that that was breaking us out of that 3D hold that we were
Yeah.
in, and that without this kind of a um, pulsating or just a
Heartbeat.
yeah, even like a heartbeat, right? So
Yes.
without this moving us and shaking us up, it would be more difficult to wedge out of that 3D. It's almost like they make us uncomfortable so that we'll move out,
Hmm.
and
Well,
it's for a good purpose.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And to go with what you were just saying, because you said the heart is something that is our new vehicle. True that. But really the way forward is your north node. And where
Mm,
is the north node in the transit sky? It's in Aries. And what is the moon? The moon is about Leo, which is about the heart. What two organs cannot live without each other? The brain, Aries, and the heart, Leo. So it is a combination of making sure that that north node is helping us find the correct way forward, because also Chiron, the wounds of our childhood, of our past lives, that Chiron in Aries conjunct the transiting north node in Aries, that's a healing property for everybody, starting over, beginning anew. So it has to be heart centered, because the brain can't tick without the heart, and the heart can't tick without the brain. So it's a constant sending of signals. And we all live with that one opposition in our chart all the time, the south node and the north node. So no
mm,
matter where yours are, whether they're in Aries and Libra, for me, that's where mine are. So it's like a big clearing is going on. I'm going to be 75 years old. So there's a big clearing going on. And it's just so nice to have Aries in my
take
Aries,
charge. Yeah.
you know?
It
And
takes charge,
when
right?
is Uranus going direct or going into?
Uranus goes direct in 2 days.
27.
Uranus goes direct.
2 days, yeah. And then all planets are going forward until April 1st. So this is big, right? This is like, now we're gonna all feel Uranus going direct in 2 days on the 27th. That will probably, I would definitely venture to say, more solar flares, volcanic activity or earthquake. And not to scare anyone, but that's how these energies hit Mother Earth. And Uranus is known for shocks and surprises, lightning, for it's the only planet that revolves on its side, always outside the box. It is always.
And right now she's in Saturn's house. She's in the 10th house. In the transiting sky, she's in Taurus in the 10th house. This is all that money coming up again too. You know?
Yeah, and that's all gonna play out. But as we go forward in the next couple of days, I wanted to say something about the heart and the head real quick. Yes, we have a mind, we have an ego, we have a spiritual body, a physical body, and our soul, right? Our bodies, our mental, physical, ego, the mind, all have to follow the heart. Now, we weren't taught this, right? So this is a new concept. A lot of the light workers, love workers, energy workers understand that. But a lot of people do still struggle. Well, my mind, because our minds are so quick to make a judgment, react, to bypass the heart in a nanosecond. It doesn't slow down. This is where the heart comes in now. When you have the mind and the ego working for the heart, you connect them. There's a couple of really good meditations where you can connect your heart chakra to your third eye and your crown. Keep doing that, because once the heart is truly in charge, making the decisions on how it is you want to go forward in your life, it relieves so much of that other stuff that has us stuck in the mud all the time. Right now, it's a lot easier said than done. But once this becomes the norm, and then as we incorporate this more, being truly heart-centered, being truly soul-centered, it is a whole different paradigm than what has been going on here for 26,000 years.
Right.
So we're the forefront, the forerunners. We're the ones beginning all of this light work, right? Love work. This is what we do, and it's going to exponentially connect. It's going to go faster and faster and faster, because more people would just automatically get it. Why? Because of that rhythm, that energy. Aquarius is two lines, energy lines. And that energy is just going through all of us, every moment of every day. And when it gets a higher consciousness to it, it raises the consciousness all around us, and we just keep going and going and going. But that's a really important thing to know. The mind and the ego work for the heart. And anytime you're having any questions about what to do next, you truthfully ask yourself, does my heart want this? Does this make my heart happy? Does it make my heart smile? Is it something I love and value? And and anything that gets past that heart, kind of guard, the heart guard, then you're good.
That's the beauty of that top of the kite, because Venus is in Capricorn, and she's got a sextile going over there to Saturn. And Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Then you got Uranus over there in Taurus, throwing sextile up to Saturn. And she's in money, and she's talking in the 10th house. She's in the house of Saturn. So they're sending signals that are understood by each other. They know what Morse code is coming through to them.
Well, yeah, and maybe we should explain that too. Yes, Diana and I know astrology technically, but it is, and we read astrology psychically and intuitively, which I'm sure a lot of people do.
Right.
Jean's picking up on it intuitively. She doesn't know it technically fully, but she's picking up on it. So this is how this energy, this is the quirkiness of it. These things just start coming in, and you just start knowing things, and you're getting these indicators to go in this direction or this that direction. This is following the energy, because the energy is intelligent, highly intelligent, and it's speaking to all of us. Um, what was I going to say? Okay, lost my thought. Go ahead.
Well, Saturn is in Pisces, and that's about new
Uh,
boundaries and new foundations. And so when you have Venus in Capricorn throwing a sextile to the ruler of Capricorn, you know that they're talking, and you know that they're coming up with solutions, because Venus is still a morning star, so she's still got her battle gear on. She's just taking a break where there's no reason for fighting. Just try to figure out where we go from here.
well,
And
yeah.
you're leading that way by being over there in Taurus, in the 10th house of Saturn. Now there's communication going between them. What do we need to change? How do we need to change it? And then how do we go forward from here?
Well,
So
then,
that's do your Saturn, right? Do what Saturn is indicating.
well, yeah, but Saturn is changing too. I think he is, okay, because Neptune's in
Oh,
Pisces, Saturn's in Pisces, right? We're going into a spiritually based society. With Saturn there, that's showing me that all the systems that are life negating are are being restructured while he's in Pisces. So he is, but he's still going to be our the part
time.
of us that's self-responsible. Yeah, the one that gets us through. Okay, it's time to do this. It's time to do that. Um, and okay, so we've got Saturn and Pisces. Then we have Venus, Mars, and Mercury in Capricorn. Who rules Saturn?
Everybody's taking it.
Yeah, so they're trying to help us bring in this new way of bringing in that. I just wanted to say self-responsibility, but it's a little more than that. That's structure, right? Because this is a new energy where we need new structure to go forward in creating this, which none of us know really.
Right.
I mean, this is outside the box. We don't know what we're creating. We're just following by instinct and feeling, and okay, they're saying go this way. I'm going to go this way, and I know most of y'all here do that. That's how we receive the information.
Right.
So we happen to get that antenna first. So we get that connection to the higher consciousness. I know I trust my guides. I know you all trust your guides. You trust your heart. And this is truly what the Leo moon is saying. Do you trust your heart? Are you deferring to your heart? Going, and that's the only way forward, really.
Mm-hmm. And the conjunction that's going to occur with Venus and Mercury and Mars being in enough range of each other to be conjunct, that is her tempering those two boys over there. Mercury to spit out the information. Mars is wanting to take action, but she's reeling him back. You can't do that yet. Listen to Daddy. Daddy's over there in Pisces. He's trying to fix the leak in the basement. And what he's figured out is we got to move all the soil away from the foundation so we can seal the leak from the outside, because you can't seal it from the inside.
And don't you think that that's, I mean, this is powerful what you just said, right? We have to, they're saying they don't like that word. As those three, okay, don't let Mars jump. Don't let Mercury and Mars together have you jumping over something you're not quite sure of. And that's what she's saying. You want to take that time, take that pause. It's not time to jump yet. Now, in 2 days when Uranus goes direct, it seems like that would be a good time to jump that's really not. You still want to have about a week. Let Uranus get his sea legs, get moving forward, because he's just really going to be sitting stationary, not moving, right, for about what, a week or a couple days.
Yeah, he's only moved 9 minutes in 5 days, so he's not moving very far, very fast. Jean, how are you doing down there? What have you? You
I'm
look
trying
like
to, I'm
you're
trying to
getting
hang on.
downloads.
I'm thinking I have a couple of questions, and my question is, does the Aquarius sign, being in the sign of Aquarius in and also in the age of Aquarius, does that double sign or double
Double
energy mean anything?
Absolutely. That's why we're so excited as well. When we were talking about all this coming up, because the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was 248 years ago, like and Diana said. Pluto wasn't even in, what's the word?
Discovered?
Discovered. He wasn't even discovered yet, right? So this is all, but that was the age of Pisces. Okay, we're in the age of Pisces, age of Aquarius, but we all know the age of Pisces is dying. We're heading into the age of Aquarius, so there's no way to really say that. It is unusual for sure as we go forward, having all of this Aquarius all of a sudden.
What are some characteristics of being in Aquarius?
Quirkiness. First off, right off the bat, he's a water bearer, but he's an air sign.
So he takes the brilliance from spirit, right, and brings it to earth. That's how I was always,
Right.
how they showed it to me. So yeah, he has that ability to take all this brilliance out of here, all around it, but makes it manifest on the earth.
Well, and this discovery of Uranus brought us the discovery of electricity, right? So Aquarius is the water bearer, and when the water comes through the sky, you get electricity. Your batteries have, especially now they make a dry cell battery, but once upon a time it was all wet inside. Your car battery is wet. It's
liquid.
You get a big 24 volt, and then stick your tongue on the end of a 12 volt and see the shock, taste the metal. Anybody else ever do that?
Yeah. But Aquarius is known for quirkiness, right?
Right.
Uranus rolls on his side, goes on his side. Innovative, humanitarian.
I actually have a graphic. If you want, I can pop it up here. It's just, and then if you want, I didn't want to do it too soon.
Yes, Jazz.
This is just
his art is not just rolling with the punches, because it's not. It's knowing how to roll on his side and get away from the punch, and the other guy hits himself in his head.
I just wanted Jazz and everyone else to know, yes, this was the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, was the French Revolution and the American Revolution. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal as we go forward. Okay,
right.
Go ahead. Oh, I have it. Sorry. Aquarius season.
So this is just
honesty.
This is the celebrate your uniqueness. This was that water that you were saying was coming down, that the quirkiness that you ladies were talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to, this was like my little cheat sheet, but I thought I'd share it with everybody. And you're saying stand in your truth, right? It's important for all of us to stand in our truth. And that's what I said. Be honest with ourselves. Be really honest with ourselves. And what we truly want and what's important to us, and connections and collaboration. This is all that air, right? The air energy.
We're doing it, right? We're actually doing it. Oh,
right. This is a collaboration, isn't that? And this one says, reflect on the stories you tell yourself. And this is the truth and the letting go of just the negative self-talk, or the
The old story, the
The
baggage.
old story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what you were saying earlier too, Jean, is connect to your heart. What are you, I'm sorry, how did you say it? My mind just wants to keep
That,
stopping.
that heart, your heart is your vehicle. It will be the way that you move forward is through your heart. This is
And
how you'll move forward, continue on, make decisions,
mhm,
have creativity. It's all going to be coming through the heart.
mhm, mhm,
And be uncomfortable. I mean, this is what is going to be
mhm.
happening from 3D to 5D is this uncomfortableness. This is
Yeah.
the Pluto shaking things up and leaving Pisces and moving into Aquarius.
And
I'm also
we can also look at that as an escalator without a handle. So that's going to make it even harder,
Yeah.
right, to feel secure,
Yeah.
because we're riding into we're being driven by energy that it is moving itself, and we're on this ride with it, but we got nothing to hang on to there.
and
It's
trust that we will be supported on that elevator
I
without the
love that.
handle. Trust
absolutely.
trust that we are being supported here.
Hmm. Because that's what's the opposite of Aquarius is Leo. That's where your heart is. That's your navigation system. Because there's nothing. Aquarius doesn't have any hard and fast rules. When you said what does Aquarius represent, it really is individualism, your uniqueness, your
Right.
outside the box. It's hard to even put words onto Aquarius. But Aquarius wants one thing for everybody. Everybody gets cared for. Everybody's cared for.
It,
Um,
it's a fixed sign. We mustn't forget that it is a fixed sign. So even though he's quirky, and even though he is able to change things or go with things, or whatever he is feeling
innovate.
at the moment is what he's fighting for, right? Because he's fixed. His
Well,
house is
innovative. And when you say it like this, yeah, his fixedness, right? So the big word for Aquarius is freedom. So that's what he's fixed on, and that's in every moment.
but
Is it
right,
causing somebody not to have their freedom? Is this holding somebody back from living their life or getting the health care they need? I mean, we could go on and on. And that's where he's going to be really,
right. And
it's
this
not
is how
working.
Saturn and him are working together
And
with
Pluto.
Pluto,
Hmm.
because it is okay. This is what you wrote. This is what you meant. Now let's refine it. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
to actually rewrite. I think they will. I really do think the Constitution will be updated, upgraded eventually.
Upgrading, but I don't think the verbiage that says freedom for all can't change. That's got to stay in order
No,
for
right.
in
I'm
order
talking
for us
about
to honor freedom for all.
right, but I'm talking about the verbiage that kind of leaves everything confused. A lot of the Constitution is written that way. Well, a lot of law is written that way. But
Yeah, the Constitution. I don't want to get into politics too much, but the Constitution, it's a valuable document, and it was written in a heart-centered, heartfelt, wise group of gentlemen. Oh, no girls? They went home to their wives. And their wives were involved because they wouldn't have it any other way. They just had
mhm,
it in secret. Thomas Jefferson, what he did to change the inheritance protocol, his daughter got everything. His daughter got everything.
well,
How?
see, and isn't that the truth of everything? It always comes down to money and what are you willing to sacrifice, or how much of your soul are you willing to sell, or someone else's, because if his, not saying that his daughter getting everything was a bad thing, but I don't know the whole story.
No. At a time when only the oldest son inherited. She got
So
everything in the 1700s when he died.
Oh,
Friday.
Carolyn. Yeah.
That's really
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Carolyn.
Carolyn,
Oh,
my youngest is born on Friday the 13th, and he's a Leo. Very cool.
and I
Mhm.
have someone in my family born on Friday the 13th, and she's a Leo.
So can I pull up the chart and just ask a few
Sure.
questions for
Sure.
clarification? And hopefully you
Please.
guys, if you like this, let us know. If it's not something that you find helpful, please let us know in the comments after the show. So Val, whenever you're ready, you can pop that up. Yeah.
Oh,
So
right there's the chart.
right here is Leo, and right here is the moon. Does everybody see my cursor moving over here? The
Yep.
moon here is in Leo, and directly opposing, because it's a full moon, the sun is here, and the sun is in Aquarius. And look at all this happening over here with the sun. We have all of this help coming into Aquarius here, and the moon is over here all by itself. But this heart, this Leo is the heart that is supporting the sun. Can you tell us a little bit about why or what happens when they are a full moon like this? What does it do to one another, or what sign Leo comes in here for a reason?
Mm-hmm. Well, when any full moon, new moon, right? New moon is when the moon and the sun are together. Full moon is when they're opposing. Now, Diana, she was going to explain the opposing signs. You know, a lot of people, astrologers want to say, oh, that's, never good. The signs are opposing. Well, they're always opposing. And it only makes sense that they vibe off each other back and forth of their higher, let's hope, their higher attributes, right? But it helps them work out the lower attributes. As you can see, I'm not picking on anybody, but we'll do the main one. Low vibrational Leo, very narcissistic, all about me, look at me, see me, well, without that Aquarius, that's totally neutral. Aquarius really doesn't want to be seen. They love deeply, but they're detached. It hurts. It's very
The FBI loves to hire Aquarians because they can
right.
detach.
Yeah. So that's their lower vibration, right? Is when Aquarius fully detaches. So they learn something from each other. Well, I can't be the sun all the time, and I can't be hiding behind in the corner either all the time either. So they help each other over time see each other, because we all have whatever your sun sign is. Opposite of that is the other sign in that on this wheel. This is important to know, because that's okay. Think about, you say my sun sign is Cancer. Well, my earth sign, because when the sun is in Cancer, Capricorn's in earth. So you look at directly across from your sun sign, that's your earth sign. And that plays a pivotal role too in our chart. I mean, there's so many pieces to the chart.
So this is Aquarius right here, and this is Pisces, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And we just we left Pisces and we're coming into Aquarius, and we're heading into.
You're going this way. Go this way.
We're going this way.
Yeah, go
clockwise. We're heading this direction.
Yeah.
Oh, we just left Capricorn. You're right.
Yeah.
And then, so we're just entering this Aquarius, and then we'll be going into Pisces, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The planets move counterclockwise in the sky. The nodes move clockwise.
Okay.
Not to
So
confuse
this is going this way.
Yeah. Everybody goes this way. And then I don't know if anyone can see my arrow, what I'm doing.
No.
But okay, sorry. So
you can try and describe it. I'll try and go the other way. So then these guys moving this direction?
No, they're moving.
They're moving this direction as well. Okay.
They're the planets.
Okay.
So they're coming out of Capricorn, coming up behind the sun, and Venus is the way back there, okay, because Venus took that retrograde in August in Leo. This is important because she was asking us then, what do you only focus on what you love and value? It is so important to focus on what you love and value. I don't know how often, every time Diane and I come on here, we say that over and over again. Take your pause, take your breath. It's not time to jump. It's not. We're getting close though, but you really want to have your ducks lined up, meaning uh, follow your heart. Make sure whatever that is you're doing, you're following your heart.
What
And
is
this is
this? What is this circle with an X in it?
Parts fortune. That's
that's your
like
fortune.
that's your good luck
Abundance.
chart.
Yeah, it's your abundance.
Oh,
It's the if something turns out bad, something starts out bad but can turn out good. In the,
Mhm.
interesting. Interesting.
And let's
yeah,
say that.
there's a
Let me
lot of Arabic points in the sky like that. I mean, a
Good.
lot of them,
Yeah.
300, 400. But the
Yeah.
parts fortune is basically everybody's good luck charm.
Everybody,
So,
yeah. And let me say this: we're all every sign. This is astrology. Those planets above us are in all of our charts somewhere, somehow. There might be an empty house, but that doesn't stay empty all the time.
Mm-mm.
So just know that you are all of these. Wherever your Aquarius is this is powerful for you right now. If you can find out where your Aquarius and see what part of the chart it's working on in your life, because each piece of this pie of the chart means something. Um, uh, like, well, where the Venus is in the fifth house there. So where is Venus? Capricorn. They're in Capricorn, right? But they're in the fifth house. Guess who rules the fifth house? Leo, the heart. So you see, you will always see these things coming in and out, weaving in together.
right. I love that. Weaving them together. Exactly. Because when I know you've heard me say it before, when you're born, the planets land in a house and a sign. And if it's in that house, paying rent with an option to buy. It'll never really own the house, but it has that option because that's where it's living. So if it's there by itself, it's got full reign. If it has other planets along, you have to learn how to live together as a community. So where we have the Venus and the Mercury and the Mars together in Capricorn, that's a stellium. There's 3 planets together. And they're getting even closer because Venus is going to move up towards Mercury, and that Mars is going to stay pretty close to Mercury. Mercury moves really fast in the sky. He goes 88 days around the sun. So we have his retro times, which kind of slows him down. So that kind of a stellium, you're going to fight with each other in the same house, or you're going to try to support each other. Stellium is going to try to support you. So Venus is reeling in those boys right now because she's pretty and they don't want to get too far ahead of her.
Mm-hmm. And this is ever moving, ever changing. Every day, every moment, you can change it day by day up here. You can look a month ahead. You can look 6 months ahead and see where all of these things land. And it's always changing. And it's important just to take advantage of, or take note of, or take stock in where we are in our lives at this moment while these energies are here for us. Are we going to take advantage and open our hearts? Are we going to allow our hearts to be our vehicle? Are we going to tune into that rhythm that is being offered to us from Aquarius? Is all that shaking up something that we're feeling and willing to let go of that story that we've been telling ourselves all of this time? Is all of this? It's an assistance. It's a way to remind ourselves. It's a way for us to feel through the energies. It's a way to understand the energies, why they're here, what might be coming up, and what just passed. It's a way for us to honor the skies as our ancestors did, as the indigenous did. I mean, it is there. We're part of a universal community. We're not
Mhm.
only Earth beings. We are,
Right. Galactic.
universal beings,
Yeah.
galactic beings.
They're galactic beings. And so astrology, okay, well, here, Randy put up, I am so lost, but trying to learn. This is Greek to me at the moment.
At the
We all
moment.
felt like that. And I understand. And this is something Diana and I are going to we're going to come on and do a live. We have a PowerPoint of a class we did about the astrology basics, just to get everybody, so you know what a house, so what first house means, what all the basics of a chart is, and then we might offer an in-depth class after that. Anybody interested in that, let us know, because we, once you once you can, when okay, we're having a full moon in Leo tomorrow. Where's Leo in my chart? Where do I find it? What does it mean? Okay, what else? Who are all these other players? Now Diana and I put a lot more asteroids in our charts, but there's a reason. There's asteroids filling in the details. We have a handful of planets, but the points, asteroids and the other points really fill in details for us. And we're not going to try to jump from to that to there, but we do want you to know that we hear you, and we we're going to offer that basics, and it'll be on my YouTube channel where you can watch it over and over again as many times as you want. It is just going to be about the basics of astrology, and it's going to be live though. So any questions, we'll answer those while we're live.
Yeah, but one thing we want is for you to hold off asking while we're trying to get the ball rolling for
Right.
you. Put them at the end, because we might actually say something that answers the question before.
Absolutely. And there's it's fascinating, and it is it, okay, in our solar system, these planets rule. It's the energy that's around us that floats down into us. These planets constantly talk to each other. This is what astrology is, or it really was astronomy. These guys would find these planets out there. They would do certain things at certain times, and then the planets came in, and the attributes came in, but it all is thousands of years old, since man has been on Earth looking up.
Astronomy came out of the study of astrology.
Right. See?
That's the way that worked. And Carl Jung was an astrologer before he became a psychologist. So, and he would go back to the charts whenever he had a patient client who needed extra help and he couldn't get the breakthrough. Your Briggs-Myers test, it's your sun, your rising, and your moon.
Yeah. Everything, because this astrology is like, when I'm looking at a chart, right? This to me, okay, this is the full moon in Leo, but say it was Jean's chart. That's Jean's divine blueprint for life on Earth. And no matter what time, if I put it in 20 years earlier or 20 years later or now, this will guide her. Now, Jean's the one making the decisions. And yes, she's all these signs mixed up, and that makes her Jean. That makes her SunPsychic Jean, right? That's all these attributes, all of this, and we all have this. So when we each have our own blueprint, and say we're going through, should I buy a house now? You have an astrologer look, and they'll let you know, is this a good time? But it'll let you know when it is a good time, if it isn't right now. But all these decisions, right? The chart doesn't make your life miserable or excellent. It's, you're a free will being, a sovereign divine being who gets to make your own choices. And that's where the choices come in. Was it a good choice? We don't always hit 100, right? We always, it would be nice, but we don't, So and you'd be surprised how many people, when we look at somebody's chart, they're living their chart, and they have no idea,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Really cool.
Exactly. And then the transits going over, Okay, so Mercury's retrograde. Does that mean you don't buy a computer? Not really. Just check and make sure that it does everything you want. Read the
Yeah,
fine print. Go over it and go over it a second time and go
right.
over it a third time. If you can put it off, put it off. But
Yeah,
if you can't, then absolutely you have to go out there and get it. Lucky me.
yeah.
I got the new one just as Mercury went out of retrograde, so I didn't have to flub over it anymore.
Yeah, see, a lot of people are, well, I can't do this because this is happening. Well,
Yeah, life
yeah,
still goes on. Ooh blah
yeah,
dee, ooh blah
yeah.
da.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know, it's okay, and you. But the thing is, so here we go back to the heart and the gut. You know if it's time to do something. You do, you know. But we're so afraid to make a wrong decision, and there is really, if you think about it, there aren't any wrong decisions. It's just a detour from the spirit that will eventually get you to the place they wanted you to be in the first place.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
So where was it that we were feeling detached and that we were something was let go and we felt like we were floating and there was no anchor anymore?
Right.
Were we
That was
just saying that we're going to be going through this change from Capricorn into Aquarius, and we almost feel like we're lifting off of Earth and we're in this airy field, and there's not any grounding for us. And this is a way for us to navigate this unsettling energy that we're not used to being in, this up in the air. Nothing's for certain. We don't know what's coming, but it's a way for us to navigate in this uncomfortableness, in this uncertainty, and be a little bit more in our awareness during this uncertainty. And this will help to guide us through our hearts. I hope that makes
It's
sense.
like the board on the wheel that skiers use to, and surfboarders use to strengthen that inner quad, that inner
those little muscles.
all of that together. And it's learning how to go with the flow and stay balanced in it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
There you
perfect.
go.
That's perfect. I mean, it's this is vitally important going forward. We are in a new era. And most of us are getting the idea that astrology and astronomy isn't bunk. There's a there's these energies have been guiding humanity since humanity's been here. I was part of that patriarchal society that wanted you to not believe in anything, especially yourself, or anything that was maybe going to assist you to believe in yourself. So here we are, those of us who have come up to this point, and this is usually the love workers, light workers, energy workers. They're usually the ones advanced a little bit ahead because they trust their heart. They're trusting something, that the information that they're getting. And I don't know why some people do and some people don't, but as those of us who are at the forefront, okay, think of that quirkiness of Aquarius. Well, we have Aquarius season every January, but it usually goes really unnoticed. It just kind of is quiet under the radar because most people don't relate to Aquarius energy. It's too much. It's too out there. It's kind of like what we're doing tonight. We're talking about all this energy, and it is a lot. It is, but this is available to all of us to navigate our world and our lives. And it would be crazy not to utilize it, I think.
So
But
during this Leo full moon, with our hearts in mind, what type of activities can we do, or mantras can we say, or thoughts, or prayers, or what is important for us to focus on while this full moon is gracing us through this threshold?
well, I definitely would make moon water. Okay, because this will be some powerful heart love moon water.
How would you do
Um,
that?
you put water. Well, I just fill it up with, if you can, get purified water or have a filter and some Himalayan sea salt. little bit of that in there.
And you put it in an open bowl or a closed container?
I put it in a closed container because I'm putting it outside on the porch. So I just don't want anything going in there. But it's a glass jar, with a screw top. And you can do your releasing list. Take all those things that may be plaguing you, that are trying to take away your sovereignty in some way, and write those down and burn it. And if you got to do it every full moon and new moon until it's gone, that's what I do. Eventually it'll go away.
Can you put what Lori Hutzinger said up there?
Sure.
I like that, Jean. I'm catching myself if I get in my mind. The heart is not afraid. It gets me back into the flow of my feelings.
Absolutely perfect. And it's and these are little things that you could say, mantras. You could do something as simple as putting your hand on your heart and telling yourself you love yourself. I love you. I love you. When's the last time any of us that have really said that to ourselves? It's really important to advocate for yourself, to be your own best friend.
And I like to frame it as you're giving your higher self a voice to speak to the human self. And when you say, I love you, Jean, you're allowing your higher self to speak out loud to this human existence. And your ego isn't telling you that you love your humanness. Your higher self is. By you saying that, you're allowing your soul to speak to you, to your human. And they're the same, but you want to integrate this. This is why it's really important to say mantras and things like this out loud to bring it through.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is beautiful. And that is, it is our higher self. All of this stuff we hear in our heads, or the feelings we get, that's our higher self talking to us.
Mm-hmm. So if we just have tap water and we just have a container and we just put like a plate on top of it or something, we can just set it outside tonight, no matter if it's a cloudy, rainy night or not. The moon is still out there. And then when we have this moon water, we use this throughout the entire year till the next full moon, I
use it for things that I want to add love to, right? So it would just depend. I'm going
to put a gallon out there.
Hand glasses to your husband. I don't know, but like in my case, when I would I'm not doing it tonight because I don't have my garden anymore. But I would save all my waters, and it would be different waters for different things. So I would put it on certain plants, but you can do it for spells. There's all different things you can look up. What's Aries moon water, full moon water good for? Because Aries will get you going. Fire sign, right? Leo is a fire sign. Helps you ignite that spark, get something going. You can add it to Diana, what do you do with it?
What do I do with it? Well, right now I'm sprouting datura seeds.
See?
And datura seeds are, they're the night glory, the opposite of the morning glory. They're the big fat night bloomers.
Wow.
And they help you sleep, and they're good for spell work. And I want to grow my own instead of having to buy somebody else's. So to use in salves to help calm, to use it like you would lavender, to be a calming agent in the salve.
And see, warrior girl, that's because it's about the heart. The sun, everything is under the sun. None of us would be here without the sun.
Right.
And the energy of the full moon, it lasts for like 3 days, right? It's not, even though today is the full moon, yesterday and tomorrow, it's like
as long as it's still in Leo, and now you've got 10 degrees of the sun and 10 degrees of the moon. So they have a 20-degree range with each other. Now, granted, the moon moves faster and he's going to get away from her, but there's several days of that because
Okay.
the moon is at 5 degrees. We still got a day and a half of this,
Okay.
and then he'll
Yeah.
move on.
Because you got to think, right? And the moon signs takes 2 days for the whatever sign is in the moon.
Yeah.
Leo takes 2 days. So the thing is that when we start early at 5 degrees, like this moon was at, uh, was five. Yeah, it was five something changed. It's got to go through every other degree up until 29,
And then
and like Dino was saying, you got that opposing, doing the same thing. So that's a lot of ground they're covering because, okay, let's look at Pluto. Pluto's going to stay at 0 degree Aquarius probably until next January.
Oh, wow.
So the sun is going to go through Aquarius in 28 days. But with this moon, like, here, let me kind of see if I can explain it like this.
well, Jean, I don't know what the moon is, but an example is your sun is in Virgo, and where is the moon going from Leo into Virgo? So when it gets into the degrees of your sun, it's going to start to light up your sun. Now you're going to have your own emotional moments. Do you stand in conflict with yourself? You know, where are you going? Now, Virgo, you've got to analyze everything before you make a decision. You're not going to let your emotions run away with you, right?
Right. Right.
No,
What do you have there, Val?
and that's for everybody. It's discernment. What do I have?
You were showing your
Oh.
your
I don't know why I'm showing. No one can see it. It's written down. So okay. So Leo, the heart it is asking us to be discerning. Really listen to that heart. Those of us who aren't used to hearing our heart have got to take the pause, take the time, discern what you feel that you think you're hearing. It's not as easy as we're making it sound. It's certainly, and I wish it was, but anytime you have a question, put your hand on your heart. Ask yourself, does that ring true to me, for me? There's so many things you could do under this full moon. That the biggest one, sending love out. Send love to everything, to everybody. To all of Mother Earth. I mean, there's
to the
not
mirror.
enough love. Yeah, there's not enough love, is there?
To the mirror.
To the
So that it
mirror.
reflects back to you, and so that it's a reciprocal. It goes out and comes back in.
I love it.
It's really important, and it's important that we remind ourselves of this, because it's not all like giving and giving and giving. It's this, it's
And
really important.
I need to correct myself because I think I said the transiting moon's going to be opposite your sun. It's not. It's going to be conjunct.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it'll be in Virgo.
Yeah.
Your sun.
Okay, so the sun moves 1 degree a day. That's what makes the 365 days. The moon it takes 2 days for it to go a full rotation in one sign. But we're going to explain all this to y'all.
Even
And
2.25, just depends on the tilts and all of that other business. But 2.25, 2.5 days. The rising sign changes every 2.25, 2.5 hours.
that's why timing is so important when the astrologer asks you for your birth time, birth date, birth location.
And it's a leap year, so we'll catch up to ourselves.
Yeah, you can get as broad as you'd like or as granular as you like, but with this sun in Leo during the Aquarius season, I mean the moon in Leo during the Aquarius season, it's that balance, it's that complement, it's that love. And a couple of people were asking, can you leave the moon water out like 24 hours during the sun and the moon, like during or would you only put it out when the sun goes down?
I have done both because something about that sunlight the next day, I want the energy, which in this case, I would. If I was doing it, I would want this energy because it's Aquarius with Pluto conjunct it. You're not going to have water like that. In fact, I'm going to put water out there now that I think about it like that.
I know.
Because
I'm gonna too. I haven't done it yet because there's no problem me running out there. And you could put it on your windowsill inside
yeah,
of your house, you
yeah.
know, out
Yes,
on a window where you have like maybe
Mhm.
a kitchen window or something. You can
exactly.
just, it's the intention. Mhm.
And
Like you
you
do it,
know,
like
go
you
ahead.
can do with your crystals and stuff too. I mean,
I was just gonna
especially
say,
I'm in Michigan with, I don't know what it's doing right now, but it's just a big slushy mess out there. And I'd lose half of it if I just put it in the snow and not find it
right,
until the spring thaw.
right.
So,
That's a good point, though. You can put your crystals out there. You can put it, but where you at? Like it's 70 degrees where I'm at, so it's still, it's nice out. It's not raining. It's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, I would definitely. And this is powerful, potent uh, moon and sun energy.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, just
even a couple
begin
days.
to allow these energies to work for you, work with you, and
Mhm.
to open up a new awareness or a new perspective. And it's information primarily. It's information and guidance
mhm.
is what I find is really most important for me because when Val told me like 10 months ago that Pluto was going into Aquarius for the first time in 237 years or whatever. I was so excited. I must have repeated that so many times. I could feel people when they were asking me to check with their guides on whatever is coming up for them. And I would hear it over and over again. When we shift into this Aquarius, when Pluto comes in and all of these planets move direct, we're all going to feel this release and this movement forward.
Mhm.
It's really this flow forward. And the flow is the water from Aquarius, all of these things. And it's just information, it's guidance, it's a way to understand energy as well as and this is why psychics and astrologers work so well together because we're
Mhm.
speaking about energy, and energy is what makes the world go round. This is what
Mhm.
humanity and what spirit is, all energy. This is what we all have in common. And this is why we're getting together. And I'm really honored that I've been asked to come in and learn and ask the questions for you
Yeah,
guys and help to clarify some things.
yeah.
I think it's really exciting.
Well, we appreciate you coming because
Yeah, you can reel
hard.
us in.
Yeah, and it's hard though. It's hard to if you're not sure what someone's talking about, but you're interested. It's hard to form a question, like because I think we ask you a lot. What y'all have any questions? If there are any questions, please post them. But Jean's catching them and she's clarifying, and I think it's going to be really cool that we all have this we can
It,
teach each other. It's not, and I don't want to say it's simple, but it's not hard. And if you know something huge is coming, like Pluto with entering Aquarius, I mean, that is history. It's epic.
and
Yeah.
Beyond.
Saturday, all of the planets are going direct. Uranus is
Mhm.
going direct. All of the on Saturday, so
Yeah.
you'll feel a little bit of a shift and a release. But
Mhm.
it's we can all feel the difference. We can all come together and feel the energies, no matter if we understand the concepts or we know where the planets are, or if we understand what the terminology is. We can feel the energy. We can feel the collaboration. We can feel the community and the gathering together of all of the just the spiritual energy, the guidance, and
Mhm.
it's really it's wonderful, all different degrees.
There's
Yeah.
so many gifted people in the chat.
Yes. I mean,
And
it's a,
it may still sound like Greek to some of you. I think Randy said that, but it will clear. It
yeah.
will clear. It's that aha moment. And it's Aquarius, and Aquarius is filled with aha moments. So the lights will go on and you'll be able to put it together. Just
Yeah.
like when you understood why 2 + 2 makes 4.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you're excited. You know, when you get something, it's the same thing. That's why I know anybody that's sitting here watching this is really wanting to understand it, because I know it's not easy, and we try to make it as easy, easy to digest as possible, because astrology, we are all signs. It means something in our everyday lives. It's our way forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
Sometimes
been our way. Sorry.
Sometimes you don't recognize the change or the shift or the energy until you look back. I remember, and I've said this before, that we went through a portal. It was a really big 8/8 portal in
Mhm,
2008 or whatever it was, 888, and I was like, I'm not really feeling anything. And then, like
mhm.
4 or 5 months later, I turned around and I thought, oh, that was because of that. You may not understand or see it as it's happening, but
Yeah.
afterwards, if you turn around and look back and you see what transpired and you see, it just makes sense. So
Mhm.
yeah, it
Well,
can work that way.
I, I,
Beautiful.
I
Thank
can't
you.
help but think about how excited I was to get into second grade and get the phonics book. And
Mm.
my phonics book back in in the 50s was a little narrow pamphlet like thing, right? And so you're learning the blends and how to pronounce this and and all of these things. But 2-year-old second grade me had no idea that I was a Gemini with a Mercury in Gemini in the ninth house. And of course, I'm all about language and learning and blah, 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 and communication and blah, blah.
Oh,
But second grader didn't know. She just was excited. That was the book
Right.
I wanted.
oh,
Oh,
I couldn't
oh,
wait to get that all through first grade. Let me see if I can get this going here. Did I
oh.
get this
well,
one? Oh, you don't want to play with me today?
but it's probably my internet. Well, keeps going down. I don't know what it's doing.
I can get a bubble for a thumbs up, and I can get balloons to go, and I can
Oh,
get
I don't
heart.
see all that.
All right.
Oh,
There
how
we
cool!
go.
Full moon
Right?
in Leo. Yay.
Maybe it's something to do with
That
the
was
camera.
that was definitely the heart in Leo. Oh, I love that. How are we gonna top that?
There you go. We got it. As
We
long as
are
you
gonna,
got that one, we're good.
yeah, we're gonna be back on February. I think it's the 9th for the
Well,
new moon.
and how beautiful. No, it's the 10th because the new moon is Chinese New Year, and it is the night of the wood dragon. And
Oh,
I do believe, I haven't checked on this, but somebody asked before about China having an Aquarius new moon and moon sign for its birth chart. And that would make sense because for China, this is the new year. It's not in
mm,
January, it's the new moon of Aquarius. So it moves its date
yeah.
because it falls on the new moon in Aquarius.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
And
that.
it's got another 60-year cycle that goes with it, which is how the elements change. That's why this is the wood dragon,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
And the next time it's a dragon year, which is 12 years from now, it's going to be the next element is maybe it goes back to the air dragon.
And think about that. Chinese, I mean, that's old astrology
And
too.
Vedic
They didn't,
astrology. There's so
all
many
of it.
different varieties of astrology out there. And this is what's simplest for us to understand. A Vedic chart is done in an oblong. So,
Squares.
and
Yeah.
and it is the position where the sun is in the sky and not what it's shining through,
There's
right?
what? There's probably
So I
what?
don't want to confuse anybody with
Yeah.
any more of that. But they still work out to be the same. And I was supposed to be born a Taurus. I was born in the year of the ox. Enough said. I was such a stubborn Taurus. I gave up. Gemini instead.
Oh, geez, I didn't know that. I'm an ox too. I was 2 weeks late.
See, me too. Because I was born on
Wow.
June 9th. So, just 2 weeks
Well,
in.
it was so nice for everybody to hang in there and play along with us and to experience all the beautiful vibes that we all share together. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Val, and thank you, Diana, for doing a beautiful job of educating us and enlightening us and sharing your beautiful wisdom and your expertise with all of us. It was a wonderful experience.
Thank you for being here too.
Yes.
And all the chatters.
Guiding us.
Do it one more time.
Speaking,
do it one more time.
Jean gets the concepts and can
No, it doesn't want to.
I can't even talk. I'm sorry. Jean is helping us a lot. We appreciate you, Jean, for coming. Dinah, I always appreciate you. I love you all. I love everyone in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we will be back on the Chinese New Year, February 10th. All right, guys. Love you.
Bye, everybody.